Hey guys, it's Rahul again. Today we are going to talk about the conversion of the landing page. It seems very easy, but trust me, it is one of the most difficult thing to do. If you're getting visitors to your landing page, but they are not converting, the problem isn't your traffic, it's your message. And I keep banging about how important your message is. And today I'm going to show you exactly why most landing pages underperform and what to do about it. We'll look at a real example I recently rebuilt for our first home training session. Uh, I'll show you what didn't work, three principles that you can use to fix it or fix any landing page, whether you're selling homes, software, or services. And you got to stick till the end of the video to get to those three principles. Let's dive in. So what you're looking at the screen right now is the landing page, current landing page that we have for our first home buyer session with Property Dollar. Most businesses, what happens, they treat landing page like a digital brochure. They write a headline, list a few features, add a call to action, and they wonder why no one is converting. But here's the truth. Nobody reads your page unless you first make them feel something. And let me repeat that again. Nobody reads your page unless you first make them feel something. And that's number one job of your landing page, is to get someone to say, ah, that is exactly for me. Now, it can be followed closely by, I trust these people to solve my problem. So these are the two kind of feelings that a person should have once they see your landing page. And if you miss that, everything else falls apart. Let me show you the original version of the first home buyer training landing page. As you can see, it said, buy your first home, build a plan, not regrets. Now, given that I wrote this line and I still feel very confident about it, because there's regret, there's plan, there's some emotional words, but it's not making my viewer or my reader feel anything in its present moment. So it's not wrong, but it's completely forgettable. It sounds like every other seminar, every other ad. So there's no urgency, there's no emotion, there's no tension. And you know what? We have like bullet points. We used to have like understand the buying process, tips to secure your first home. Again, they're all factual, but they're flat. What it didn't do was speak to what the buyer is actually feeling. So I again lay more and more stress on feelings, right? Which is fear, which is confusion. That's what first home buyer feels. Now, pressure to not screw up on one of the biggest decisions of their life is the first fear that the first home buyer would have. And I'm not addressing that in this landing page. Now, let me go through a rejig of the version that I have. So I had this one that I rewrote, and I spoke to actually spoke to a few first-time buyers to get to. It's very important for you folks to speak to your customers or speak to someone in detail who speak to customer every day, right? So if you can see the headline, I've changed it a little bit. So it's like feeling overwhelmed by confusing bank terms and endless property listings. $700,000. When it comes to call to action, you will notice what I have written over here is click here and we will send you a confirmation email. That's it. Not click here to register. It has to be very specific, and it should tell you in specific steps what's going to happen after you register. Now, here are the three rules that I follow. So rule number one, you always lead with fear, not with feature. Start with what your audience is scared of. Think about it. What you're selling is solving a problem, and that problem will create some sort of anxiety or fear in your customer's mind. You need to start right from there. So start with what your audience is scared of, not what you're offering, because no one cares what you do until they feel you get them. Rule number two, one page, one action. So if there's too much going on, people will freeze. Remove anything that doesn't guide them to the next step. There was this example that an art director in one of the agencies gave me, and he was, Rahul, if I'll throw you one Costco ball, you will catch it. And I'm like, yes. And then I'll go like, then he went, Rahul, if I give you, if I throw three Costco balls at the same time, would you be able to catch it? I'm like, no, that's exactly with the messaging. One page, one action. So you need to be very specific on what you want the customer to do. Rule number three, and this is very important, and I know I keep saying about this thing, but this is one of the most important thing in copywriting, is write like a real person. If your page sounds like it's coming from the corporate, you have already lost it, right? Write like you're explaining it to a friend over a coffee. Simple, punchy, honest. Say, for example, when you're speaking about first home buyer conversation with your friend, you're not able to afford it. You won't talk, hey, I'm going to invite you to this first home buyer strategy session. No, you're going to talk emotions, fear. Like, it is so difficult. I can't afford anything. It is so difficult to talk to banks. It's so difficult to get a mortgage broker. That is the feeling of fear that's happening inside your customer's mind. You need to capture that feeling and write it like a human being, not a corporate. So, three rules: lead with the fear, not the feature. Second, one page, one action. And third, write like a real person. So, the next time you sit down to build or rewrite a landing page, don't start with what you want to say. Start with what your buyer is feeling and build the page that solves that tension. If this was useful and you are in the business of selling high stake products, whether it's real estate, finance, consulting, SaaS, anything, follow along. This series is just getting started, and I'll catch you for the next one.